All right, welcome to it. It is the Plan B After Show podcast, web exclusive. Brock Hunter, let's get right to it. It's time for another episode of Back in the Day. If you're adjusted, good Lord.
Am I?
Are you set? Ready to go?
I had a good angle earlier. It was up my Adam's apple.
It was a terrible, terrible angle. Awful angle. No one wants to see that.
You ever see anybody with a big Adam's apple?
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm talking to somebody, I can't look away from it.
I got
you see that thing bouncing around.
It's sharp, but it's
you
not
just
very
want
big.
You just want to flick it
Which,
sometimes.
Don't you think, like, with this scratchy... Oh, gee.
Did you hear that?
I did. That was a good one. Yeah.
Oh. That's it. Hey,
I used to be able to do that. I can't do that now, but... No, don't you think that with, like, my deep, gravelly voice, I'd have a big old Adam's apple?
Have a big old lump there, you know? Yeah. No, maybe it's too gravelly and it just graveled it all away. You don't have any lump.
Eroded it away. So.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
My dad back in the day, he's a Green Beret. You know, he knows a lot of the tactics of special forces. You know, they piss you off, just punch him in the throat, right in the Adam's apple.
Right in the throat,
break that thing. He was like,
you crush someone's windpipe, dude. They're done, man. They're done. Yeah.
Another one he taught me. He was like, if he hit somebody right there in the nose.
I heard that wasn't real. I heard that you couldn't really, like, I think you can, but it's not as common. Well, like, it's really hard to do.
Yeah, okay. Well, Timmy on the playground, probably not. A Green Beret?
Well, that's what I mean.
You might find some cartilage in your brain.
What everyone always said, well, you'll knock the bone, but it's not a bone, though. So that's the thing. Yeah. So
I think the idea is you push the cartilage into your brain.
Yeah, but can you do that?
I don't know. That's a hell of a punch.
Punch someone's cartilage into their brain.
Odd question for Google.
Their brain.
You're gonna be monitoring you.
Yeah, right. Yes, you can get your nose shoved into your brain. Can you kill a man by driving his nasal cartilage? Taking powerful blows to the head can lead to concussions, and CTE can fresh. I'm not really getting a good answer here. See, now here, this is a no. You cannot drive the nose bone into the brain. You're not going to be done by. I don't know. I feel like, though, if you get the right angle, I'm sure
whoever it is not sticking around afterwards.
Either way, you do that. And oh God, that's just like just do that lightly. It hurts, man.
I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have any cartilage though because all the cocaine, so it's all gone. So you can't.
All right, Artie.
Dude, that's one of the. I tell you what. They just need to show a before and after to
of
kids
Artie Lang
in the DARE program. That tell you what, you want to keep kids from doing cocaine. Show them a picture of Artie Lang before and an Artie Lang now.
Yeah, you know the full story on that. So he was with his girlfriend at the time, and they were doing coke, and the bag he had was next to something that was glass that broke, and so when they scraped it up, they scraped some glass into the bag, and so like the next day when they did it again. She was like crunching it up and there was a bunch of glass in it. And so he came out of the bathroom not knowing and he wham, did a rail and immediately he knew. And he was like, what bag was that? What bag? And she was like, well, this one. He's like, no, I had a bunch of glass in it. And that was it. It took one snort. And then all the inside of his nose started bleeding, and they had to take all the cartilage out. And that's So I think a lot of people assume it's just from, and it's years. I mean, it didn't help.
Yeah,
but I think people assume it's just purely from cocaine.
That's what I thought. But holy shit!
Yeah, he snorted up a bunch of glass. Yeah, could you imagine? Oh. Whatever. His story about it. He said he immediately knew.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're snorting up even finely cut up, chunked up glass.
Yeah, it's like fiberglass, like.
And how would that? What the fuck was that chick doing? Oh boy, this is really crunchy cocaine. My God, what was she using to chop that thing up?
Seriously though,
a fucking bowling ball. My God.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, dude, his life is wild.
Yeah, if you see that picture of his nose though, man, it's sad.
Yeah, the one I saw, he's in court obviously for another drug charge. Ooh.
Did he get better?
I think he's sober now, but I mean, He's had bouts. Like he's been sober and then not
he goes
sober
back
and
and
sober.
forth.
Is Artie? Oh, look this up. Artie Lang sober now. You'd hope so.
Yeah, dude, I love
He's
Artie
doing-
Lang. He was one of my favorite movies, Dirty Work. He was a star.
Dude. Yeah. Perhaps. Anyway. All right. Well, enough of Artie Lang and snorting up glass. Let's do back in the day. Let's see. Back in the day, July 25th. Let's go to 43 years ago, 1980. Caddyshack was released, starring Bill Murray and Chevy Chase. Classic golf. Now, you're a golf guy. Do you like Caddyshack? Have you ever seen it? I bet you've never seen it.
You had to ask the question, didn't you? No, I've seen Caddyshack.
Have you? You don't like it, do you?
No.
You don't like it, do you? You don't like Caddyshack, do you?
So it's not as funny as everybody makes it out to be, in my opinion. For some people, it is the God-given golf movie of all time. And it's not.
Right.
For me, maybe it's the time. I wasn't growing up in the time. So it's
Yeah.
different for me. Yeah, you got to be in my shoes here. I was born in 85, all right?
Yep.
When did Caddyshack come out?
I think it just said 1980.
80. I've
Yep.
been out 5 years before I was even born. So my golf movie obviously is Happy Gilmore. It's not Tin Cup. It's not Caddyshack. I think it's funny, but it's not as funny as everybody makes it out to be. And I feel bad saying that because it's different for different people. But
yeah,
Rodney Dangerfield's hilarious.
He's
love
great
Rodney.
in it.
He's
Chevy
great.
Chase plays the
Chase.
same he does in every movie. That's just Chevy Chase.
You know, it just reminds me of like a movie from the 80s.
Yeah.
Like it's that style of humor. It's that it's within that time, and
So here's where I'm at with it again. And you and I have had this conversation before. Is everyone's like, oh, Jim Belushi's not bashed at all. These guys, honestly, they're not. They had some good stuff. In that movie right there, I really enjoy Caddyshack. But there's better golf movies out there. Yeah. Like here, for example, if I had a choice to watch Tin Cup or Caddyshack, I'm going to do Tin Cup. If I had a choice to watch Tin Cup, Caddyshack, Happy Gilmore, Gilmore. You know what I mean? But Caddyshack's still good. But yeah, I think just as far as classics are concerned, I do think it's a comedy classic, and it's better than a lot of the other ones that were out there that people like. Oh, like here, for example, Blues Brothers. I can't fucking stand the Blues Brothers. I shouldn't say I can't stand it. I just don't think it's
a movie
good.
of my time.
And people are, the Blues Brothers.
It doesn't relate to me in a way of my childhood.
Right. But even if I think if you look at it, and people always say, well, you wouldn't have this movie if it wasn't for this, or you wouldn't have this artist.
I have the same feeling about Animal House.
Yeah. See, now Animal House, that one I absolutely fucking love. That one I think is great. I think it's just super well written and it's funny and just, it's such a cool movie. But yeah, for a lot of people though, they're like, I don't get it. I don't
like the classic. Like to me, I feel even bad saying this because it's a taste for people have different tastes.
Right, exactly.
For instance, for me, the joke. What does he say? Oh, hey, what am I?
Oh, I'm a zit.
I'm a zit. And he spits.
Yeah. And that's all his character. You know what I mean? So, and then the big food fight scene after that and everything. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's funny when he's walking through the line and he just is eating food and putting it back, and then he's got like just this plate.
Yeah. There's parts.
Parts for sure. But
like I said before, though, if you're comparing Belushi to Farley,
right, exactly,
it doesn't hold.
And again, then people are like, well, you wouldn't have Farley without Belushi because it's like, hey, no, you can't. I don't think you can. If that's not a valid argument, you know what I mean? So. As you can say, well, look, you wouldn't have AC/DC without Johann Sebastian Bach. Okay, gotcha. I get it. I understand what we're doing.
Not what we're talking about.
Not what we're talking about. Exactly. Well, speaking of AC/DC, that actually brings me to my next on this back in the day, July 25th, 1980, 43 years ago. AC/DC released their 7th album, Back in Black. Highest selling rock album of all time. It's only behind like Michael Jackson's Thriller and I think the Eagles' Greatest Hits album, which is insane when you think about a hard rock album selling that many copies. like 50 million copies worldwide. Like it's actually how many?
When you first realized that, like when AC/DC was like, okay, we've now become one of the biggest bands ever, and you're going to be touring for. Does that scare you a little bit?
I don't know, because they were already on that rise. And so what's crazy about Back in Black is that was the first album with their new singer, Brian Johnson, who had only been with the band for like 6 months. And they had just released Highway to Hell like a year ago in 79 with Bon Scott, the original lead singer. And so that's two completely opposite vocalists.
Yeah.
And to have that, and most bands don't come back to the same strength or even better after they lose a lead singer like Bon Scott. And then they get Brian Johnson and they create, like, I would say top 3 hard rock albums of all time.
Yeah, I'd agree with it.
Top 3. When you look at it, Shoot to Thrill, You Shook Me All Night Long, Back in Black, Hell's Bells, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. It's a front to back album. There is not a bad second on that album. And you do that 6 months after your lead singer dies, a year after your highest selling album at the time, Highway to Hell, is released. Like, it's fucking wild.
You know what it is at that point. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Brian Johnson or anybody who could have filled in, taking that spot. But it's to the point to where you're just feeding the machine. AC/DC is its own entity, and you just plug it in. I'm not saying that anybody can do it, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like the machine runs itself. It's going to be good. Metallica is the same way.
You do have obviously with the Young Brothers, and they already had such an established sound, but it's just the singer is so important. Obviously, Angus's guitar and Malcolm's backing vocals and rhythm and Cliff on bass and Phil on drums, like you have all that stuff. But that singer, though, Bon, was so unique, and it's not like they had similar vocal stylings, completely different. And I just think is so wild in the AC/DC saga. So fuck, I love AC/DC.
What if you put Hetfield in AC/DC? How's that? Would it be good? Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Well, hey, shit, they brought, what was it will be good.
That'd
for
be
sure.
Weird.
They brought Axl Rose. Remember when Brian had to leave the band? They kicked him out of the band because he had hearing issues. Well, they brought Axl in. Now, here's what's interesting. They were able to play songs from the Bon Scott era that they haven't played in decades because Brian couldn't sing them or he didn't want to sing them.
Yeah.
And so now you got, Axl Rose singing songs from, Flick of the Switch or not Flick of the Switch. For Those About to Rock, or what am I? No, Let There Be Rock. Let There Be Rock. Is that what it is? I'm trying to think. I'm getting my albums skewed up. But anyway, they're playing old stuff that they haven't heard forever. So I think because of to build off your point, because of the established AC/DC sound, you could put other singers in and it still works. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, interesting. Now you can get like just the vocals and you can get just the instrumentals.
Yeah.
I might try that. Might throw some Hetfield over some AC/DC sound.
People have done mashups,
how that would sound.
Yeah. Probably pretty badass. Probably pretty badass. Let's see.
It's got to be it.
That's pretty much it, yeah. 15 years ago, Step Brothers was released.
It's a good movie.
It's good. I love that movie.
15 years.
And that's what's wild. Step Brothers was 15 years ago. Old School, dude, was what? 20-something years ago now?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, God, we're getting old, dude.
I know.
We're getting old, but all right, anyway. Well, hey, there you go. Good enough. That's all that happened back in the day. We'll see you guys next time for the Plan B After Show podcast.